He's Tim Cowlishaw. He's a star, the star of Around the Horn is what he has told me before. The biggest name on there, the best writer on there, and very popular. These are his words, obviously, and a great columnist, and has his finger on the pulse when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. Hi, Tim. How are you?
You finally read that introduction I sent you. Thank you.
Well,
you read it the way it was supposed to be read.
Yep. Woody Page sends me the same one, but hey, all right. So help us out here with the Ezekiel Elliott story. Your reaction? How big is this story right now in Dallas?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it's all people are talking about, and it's gone from last week. People thought, okay, maybe the commissioner is going to suspend him for a game. We don't know why. It's completely unfair to, Cowboy fans thinking, I hope he doesn't get 4 games. It's just the timing of it is terrible, knowing that this is supposed to be the week he responds to whatever the NFL has found, and instead he's out getting in bar fights.
Okay, now we know that the bar fight has nothing to do with the sexual assault that those charges were dropped at Ohio State, but the NFL has been investigating this for almost a year now, I think. What is it that they're finding out or found out that's different from the police report that you're going to perhaps suspend him for a game or two?
Well, that's a real good question. It was 2 incidents of domestic violence with his former girlfriend, no charges ever filed. But I think the NFL, with their personal conduct policy, they can get rid of you based on perception. They did, Roethlisberger, they did it to him. They can do it. And that was before they got serious about their policy. So they can take that and just this little string of other incidents. I think at the St. Patrick's Day party, pulls a woman's shirt down, all the little stuff, all that can fall into the personal conduct policy. Now, I don't think any of that adds up to more than 2 games, but still 2 games is a lot if you're the Cowboys and Zeke Elliott.
How much concern is there about Ezekiel Elliott, just off the field, personality-wise?
I think a lot, but it's not like the concern like he's a bad guy. It's more he's a good guy. Everybody likes him, but he's always been the life of the party. They heard that story from Ohio State. I mean, there were stories up there that, Joey Bosa stopped hanging out with him because he didn't want to get into trouble, and Joey Bosa was his roommate. I mean, he's a guy who looks to have a little too much fun, a little too often, and even though he always says, hey, I've learned my lesson, it appears he never has.
I was told this, so I'm assuming the Cowboys did their homework, that when Ezekiel Elliott was drafted and Dak Prescott, I was told by somebody with the Cowboys that you never have to worry about Dak Prescott, but you always have to worry about Ezekiel Elliott. Would you say that's a fair assessment on both of them?
I'd say that's exactly correct. And there's people here, there are fans here, they call us on radio saying, why don't they just have Dak watch Zeke? It's like, how much can they ask Dak to do? Here, play quarterback, run the team. By the way, this guy we pay 5 times as much money as you because you were the 145th pick. You need to babysit him for the next 4 years.
I also like that I saw a headline that now we're going to find out how good Dak Prescott is if he doesn't have Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield. Wait, you didn't write that column, did you?
No, that was not mine.
Oh, okay.
My effort. That was not my effort.
What happens?
We are going to find that out, but I don't know if that's a fair way to do it.
Okay, but what does this do for this team? And if he is suspended, you're going to miss the Giants game, obviously a big game, but
right.
you do have depth at that position. But does this change that much the Cowboys' offenses? They'll move forward here.
In a way, not a ton. That sounds ridiculous, but I mean, the year before, Darren McFadden ran for 1,100 yards, and he didn't start the first 6 games. I mean, I think for a game or even 2 games, they're diminished a little bit, but it's not crippling. If it ends up being 4 games, then they're in big trouble. But as you said, the first one is the Giants. If they lose that game, and that's part of the reason, that could be the NFC East at the end of the year.
Still strange that Tony Romo is not there anymore.
Very, yeah. It's weird, and a lot of people have continued to think he's going to come back, which I'm pretty certain he's not. But yeah, it even at the time it made sense for him to do what he did. But then football season comes around, and he can still play. He played a little bit last year. He threw a touchdown against the quarterback Nolan Carroll. The Cowboys had to go out and acquire during the offseason for some reason. So yeah, it is strange to think he's done.
Can you see a scenario where another team would inquire about Tony Romo during the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, that happened, I think, twice with Troy Aikman, who retired much younger. I think Troy was like 34 when he retired. But I think teams know it's more of a long shot. I think teams know because of the back and everything else. It takes Tony a long, long time. He couldn't drop what he's doing and go play in 2 weeks. I mean, he would need months to get ready. So I think it would be an off-season thing. I don't think it would be a regular season emergency thing.
And by all accounts, he's been doing these practice games that his criticism has been kind of harsh, if not over the top harsh. Did you see that happening with Tony Romo, that he would be a little bit more critical in this analyst role?
He got that from reading my columns about him specifically. So I'm glad to hear he has gone that direction. No, I actually thought he'd be funny and he'd be natural, but he wouldn't be very critical. So it will be interesting to see if that really. I heard him saying that. It'll be interesting to see if that holds up. Now he's at CBS, so he won't do a lot of Cowboy games. He'll get 1 or 2 Cowboy games a year, and that will be where I think it's tougher for him. But maybe he'll be more open about criticizing the Baltimore Ravens.
It's good to talk to you. Are you on Around the Horn today?
No, I'm on my way to Big 12 Media Day, which
wow.
I'm not sure you've been giving proper play to on your show while you're playing career salary. We've got a Big 12 Media Day getting set to go, so I'm driving up there.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting, man. I was gonna dedicate the final hour of the show to just Big 12 Media Day, but I'm not quite sure right now.
I think you should.
Yeah. Yeah, and Gundy's mullet's gone, right? That's it. That's the big news.
I think so. Yes, and that's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Who's still in the Big 12? Because I can't remember. Did they add any?
I don't remember which teams. I think West Virginia is still in the Big 12.
Are there 12 teams in the Big 12? Is what I want to know too.
Nope. Still got 10.
All righty.
Still got a strong 10. Still got a Kansas team to beat Texas last year.
Well, safe travels. It should be riveting. I can't wait. I can't wait for all those clips that are going to come out of Big 12 Media Day.
It'll be fun. All
right. Thank you, Tim.
See you.
That's Tim Cowlishaw, Dallas Morning News columnist and popular contributor to Around the Horn.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.